Hey guys, Baron here. Today we're here with another top 5 video. Quite a while ago on the channel we did a ranking video covering the best gym leaders of all time in Pokemon. So I thought today we would overextend that a bit and talk about the champions, the final challenges in Pokemon, and sort of rank the top 5 best champions of all times in Pokemon. So guys, if you're excited about that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the subscribe button, and share this video with a friend or two. But with that being said, let's get into it. Now, starting at a 5th place, we probably got the oldest champion in all the Pokemon games, and that is Alder from Black and White. I feel like with just how he's intertwined into the story and what kind of character he is, he's definitely different from every other champion that we've seen so far. Most champions in the Pokemon games are up-and-coming trainers who really are shining stars at the moment. But I feel like Alder is very much a veteran of the Pokemon region. He's traveled around, he's been around, he knows his region and he's been through a lot. And he's very much experienced. In that sense, he works way more like a mentor to you, which is very interesting because in pretty much every other game, the champion is sort of an aid outside of the final boss challenge, giving you items and stuff, but Alder's more of giving you life lessons, which I think is very interesting. I think it gives a certain interesting perspective to the games. With his team too, is very different. It's comprised of stuff like Bouffalant, Druddigon, Volcarona, and Asalgor and Escavalier. Pokemon you wouldn't expect to be really strong, but he makes it work, and he's just a really good trainer. And that's not only because you essentially challenge him, the latest of all the champions, being essentially when you finish a game, so that his teams are a higher level than most champions. But he just has a team composition that you wouldn't expect to be powerful, but it really is, and it actually is a challenge. So for that reason, and just because of how cool of a character and how much of a mentor character he is, Alder is at the number 5th spot. Going from the oldest champions in all the Pokemon games, we go to probably the youngest. We have Blue from Pokemon Red and Blue and Pokemon Fire Red and Green, and just Generation 1 in general, really. Blue is a very interesting champion because, as you probably know, he's your rival throughout the game. So he's not only someone you have to beat as a final challenge that you've encountered sort of loosely throughout the game. He's very much the final challenge that you have to prove yourself towards. You have to prove that after all you've been through, fighting side by side, that you're stronger than him. Because he's already beaten all the challenges you've done, and he's gone there before you. So you need to prove that you're better than him. And that's, like Alder, is a different dynamic to the champion because it is more of a personal challenge, and you actually have to prove yourself more than any other champion probably. And just with how he works in the game, being a cocky brat, and just being up there and being just this final obstacle, is just a great thing really, and it really adds to the game, just because you don't really know who the champion is. You don't really know it before you enter the Pokemon League before what a champion really is. And when you see that, well, if your rival is a champion, you're so motivated and you feel like you have to beat him. And just his team, of course, he has a starter that is strong against you. He has an Executor, Arcanine, Gyarados, Pidgeot, Rhydon, Alakazam, you name it. His team is powerful, and he's a powerful and cool trainer. And just because of him being a rival and being a very interesting and very challenging final challenge, that's a word, apparently, he is at a number 4 spot. Coming into the number 3 spot, we have Lance. When I think of a cool trainer, I think of Lance. Just with his dragons, his capes, his hair, and just how he acts. He's really like an actual hero and really a badass in the games. And that really shows with him being the champion. Of course, He was awesome as a Elite Four member. Just walking up to his chamber, challenging him with all those dragons was really cool in the first generation. But in second generation, he really got to shine with his cousin and his relatives in Black Kingdom City. But also just being a champion, having those powerful dragons with Dragonite, with Gyarados, which technically isn't a dragon, and Charizard, which isn't a dragon, and Aerodactyl, which isn't a dragon. But you know what? He got his dragon team in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and he had a Garchomp and an Altaria. So you know what? Lance is all good. He's probably not the strongest of all the champions, but he's probably the Batman of the Pokemon universe. He's just cool, and you know he can fight crime and be a ninja. You know, he probably would do that. He fights crime, but he's not a ninja. But anyway, Lance is a cool trainer, and he's just a badass. And I love his dragon team. You know I love Dragonite. You know I love dragons in general. So you know what? Lance gets a number 3 spot here. Rightfully claimed in the number 2 spot, we have Cynthia. Now you might think that I would put Cynthia on number 1. But you know what? Cynthia is cool, but she's not my favorite. And I think that's purely because of nostalgia. And I'll explain that when I get to the number 1 spot, essentially. But Cynthia's always been a cool trainer. You know, she's a pivotal character in the games. She helps you a lot. And just with her knowledge of mythology in Sinnoh, which especially was prominent in Platinum. Sorry about that. But that was especially prominent in Platinum when she helped you in the Distortion world. So just with her role in the games and her being such a powerful champion was really amazing. And for her to be the first female champion, and her being the most powerful champion, arguably, I would say so. That was definitely a good first impression of female champions in general. Just with her team, you know, with like the Spiritomb lead, with no weaknesses. Togekiss and Gastrodon, Roserade being a powerful Pokemon, Milotic being a fucking wall, Lucario just being a great mix attacker, and then you got that Garchomp, just that outraging Dragon Clawing Garchomp that you don't want to mess with. And I feel like she's got the most balanced team of all the champions. She doesn't really have a clear weakness like Lance, for example, with ice types, but she just has a really good team composition. And her's a character who's really cool and really collected, and you know she's got her shit together. And just how she helps in games with you, how she helps the protagonist essentially. It's just a great role, and I think Cynthia is really the formula to what a great champion should be, and that's why she gains the number 2 spot. Speaking of fucking nostalgia, we are on to our number 1 spot, and it is Steven from Pokemon Ruby Sapphire and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. What can I say about Steven? He was the first champion I faced when I played Pokemon Ruby and Alpha, and when I played Pokemon Ruby for the first time when I was like 6. So you can imagine just walking into that final chamber, seeing his powerful team. That's Skarmory. I loved Skarmory when I was a kid. I thought it was one of like a legendary Pokemon almost, and just him having Aggron, Fossils, Claydol being a really cool and mysterious Pokemon, and finally that Metagross. Like Meteor Mash, that animation was so cool in Generation 3, by the way. I think it's way cooler in Generation 3. Sue me. But you know what? Steven is so cool with just his suit, his love for like fossils and stuff, and with him being Mr. Stone's son. Sorry, not Mrs. Steven. Mr. Stone's son. Sorry, I can't talk today. And with him just being Mr. Stone's son, I thought that was so cool. And, you know, he's also like Cynthia. He helps you out a lot in the games, and he has a prominent role to play. He doesn't feel like he's redundant. He very much very much feels like you need him there. And he helps, of course, with the legendaries and the teams, Team Magma and Team Aqua, in the end. So he's really, really helpful to you in the games. And it's just a cool character with that like suit and like the steel types and just his calm, collected demeanor like Cynthia. But I just think, because of nostalgia, I just prefer Steven. And that's honestly why he's the best champion, at least according to me. So guys, that is my list. What do you think? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Let us know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts and to get a discussion going. Also, of course, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the subscribe button, and share this video with a friend or two. With that being said, I'm gonna get the hashtag out of here. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Before, until, and after I see you next time though, stay awesome.